Why do all the firstborn sons in my family die in identical accidents? My grandfather's death certificate said he fell from a ladder while cleaning gutters at age 34. My great-grandfather's obituary from 1957 described the same thing, a ladder accident while cleaning gutters at 34. When I found my great-great-grandfather's death record in the county archives, the cause was identical. Fell from ladder, gutter cleaning, age 34. I was 33 years old and 6 months when I discovered this pattern. Standing in the records room with photocopies spread across the table, my hands shaking as I counted back 5 generations of firstborn Calloway sons who died the exact same way at the exact same age. Every single one left behind a widow, younger siblings who inherited everything, and suspiciously large life insurance payouts. My younger brother Trevor had been asking me a lot of questions lately about my insurance policies, about whether I'd updated my beneficiaries, about when I planned to clean the gutters on my house. I thought he was just being helpful, but now, staring at these death certificates, I understood he was preparing. I'd started researching after my cousin Dylan died 3 months ago. He was the firstborn son of my uncle Jerome, and he'd fallen from a ladder while cleaning gutters. He was 34. The funeral was sad, but not shocking. Just a terrible accident, everyone said. Tragic. But these things happen. Except I'd been at Dylan's house 2 weeks before he died, and I'd seen his gutters. They were clean, professionally maintained, nothing that needed attention. Dylan had even joked about it, saying his wife insisted on hiring a service because she didn't want him climbing ladders. So why had he been up there the day he died? Why had he suddenly decided to do it himself when he'd always paid someone else? At the funeral, I'd asked his wife Melissa about it, and she'd looked confused. She said Dylan told her that morning he needed to check something on the roof, that he'd just be a minute. She'd been inside making lunch when she heard the ladder crash. The police ruled it accidental death. Case closed within 48 hours. I couldn't let it go. Something felt wrong about the whole situation. So I started digging into family history, looking for patterns. That's when I found the others. 5 generations of firstborn Calloway sons, all dead at 34, all from ladder falls during gutter cleaning. The statistical impossibility was staggering. I ran the numbers with a friend who taught mathematics at the university, and he said the odds of this happening by chance were essentially zero. This was either a genetic predisposition to ladder accidents, which didn't exist, or something else entirely. When I showed him the death certificates and dates, he said, someone in your family is killing firstborn sons. He said it so matter-of-factly that I almost didn't process it at first. Then the weight of it hit me. My 34th birthday was in 6 months. I was a firstborn son, and based on the pattern, I was next. I started with the life insurance policies. Each death had resulted in massive payouts, I discovered by cross-referencing obituaries with county records and old newspaper articles. My great-great-grandfather's policy paid out $50,000 in 1923, equivalent to over $800,000 today. My great-grandfather's paid $75,000 in 1957. My grandfather's paid $200,000 in 1989. The amounts kept increasing with inflation and economic growth. Dylan's policy, I learned from public probate records, had paid out $2 million. Every single policy had been purchased within 6 months of the victim turning 34, and every single one named the surviving spouse and younger siblings as beneficiaries. In my grandfather's case, the money went to my grandmother and my father's younger brother Jerome. In Dylan's case, it went to Melissa and my uncle Jerome. I realized with sick certainty that I'd purchased a $3 million life insurance policy 4 months ago at Trevor's suggestion. He told me it was smart financial planning now that I was married with a kid. He'd even recommended the insurance agent, a family friend who'd handled all the Calloway policies for decades. I called the insurance agent, a man named Donald Priest, and scheduled a meeting. I didn't tell him what I wanted to discuss, just said I had questions about my policy. His office was in a strip mall near the highway, small and outdated with wood paneling and dusty filing cabinets. Priest was in his 60s, heavyset, with the kind of smile that didn't reach his eyes. I sat across from his desk and asked him directly how many Calloway firstborn sons he'd insured over the years. His smile faltered, and he said he'd have to check his records. I told him I'd already checked mine, that I knew about my grandfather and great-grandfather and Dylan. I asked him if he thought it was strange that every policyholder died within months of purchasing the insurance. Priest's face went pale, and he said accidents happen, that he couldn't discuss other clients' policies due to confidentiality. I told him I'd be going to the police with my findings, and he could either talk to me now or talk to investigators later. He chose to talk. Full story is linked below or on my channel.